What is going on, everybody? 2Bob29 back in the lounge yet again. Make sure to kick back, relax, and grab some snacks because it's time for a little follow-up on our hype discussions that we had a little bit earlier on. You can call it Hype Part 2, probably the best way to coin it. So, as you saw in my previous video, I definitely have some characters who are hyped up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and check out, actually Lex is probably not a great choice because he is class advantaged against Sammy. So for testing purposes, right, I'm going to go ahead and use Austin here. You could see he has no trainers, no coaches. He does have a gem damage strap and some skill plates, but I'm not really bothered with that. What we're going to try and go over today is what some of these hype stats are going to give us. So awareness, we're going to have hype level 1 awareness, which is currently 1,000. If you fight somebody that doesn't have hype, they will have no awareness, they will have no aggression, no toughness, no kick out, etc. So by proxy, awareness will allow you to go first or go second. Aggression is more damage, toughness is more defense, kick out is better percentage boost on kicking out. So we're going to try and go over all of these today. So let's go ahead and fight Zombie Sami Zayn. The reason we're fighting him, he's another 6-star gold, and he also doesn't go turn 1, so we get a couple turns to kind of gauge what it is that we're going to do. So as you saw up there in the top left, it said awareness, and it's letting you know that you're going first. So right now we have a look at our gem damage. So I can see that my black gems are supposed to be dealing 314,000 damage. So let's go ahead and calculate that. 314,000 times a 3 match. That would be 943,326 damage. So we're going to go ahead and take that swipe and see how much damage we do. And as you saw, that was 1.12 million, almost 1.13. I cannot explain to you why that is 1.12 mil. I think it was 112,915, something like that. I don't know. I can't tell you or explain to you why that's the number. Also, let's go into part 2. As you can see, this says that we should be dealing 3.86 million damage, 386,0217. And let's go ahead and keep our eye out. And actually, I'm going to slow this down so we can keep our eye out on the damage over here on the far right. We're supposed to be doing 3.8 million damage. Let's check it out. And we're going to be doing 4.6 million damage. Again, I can't explain to you why those are the numbers, but that has to do with our hype advantage. So I'm not really certain as to why that is the percentage increase that we have, but that is currently the percentage increase that we have. So that is for a hype level 1 character. What we're going to do after this, here, let's go ahead and hit this again. Again, 3.86, and we do 4.6 million. Something else to keep in mind, he has a move defense medal. Yes, it's not a tier 5, but I don't have any medals. I don't have any trainers either. So my hype is apparently superseding his medals as well. I'm not really sure what it is that's going on here. This says that it should be 2.4 million. Let's see what that is. That's 2.9 million. So again, we're supposed to be doing 3.8. We get 4.6. So I'm not really sure what the percentages are. A lot of you out there will definitely do some math on this. I don't have it within me right now, nor the free time to be able to kind of crack down on why this is working the way it is or what the math actually shakes out in being. I would love to if I had the time. I just don't. There's stuff going on at the home front here that is not wonderful right now. So that's kind of what I got for you on Hype 1. What we're going to do after this, and to be fair, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just kind of yapping. I probably should have just quit this and gone to Hype 2, but we're going to go from Hype 1 to Hype 2, and then we're going to go from Hype 2 to Hype 3 and kind of see if we can pick up on any trend there, or if it's just like, hey, look, you get a certain amount of damage bonus because you're hyped up. So that's where we're going to start with this. Let's go ahead and finish this match up. Obviously, no problem once we are fully loaded. So we're going to head on over to our Hype 2 character without a class advantage. Because again, I want to keep the class advantages out of this until we can talk about kind of what they do and how impactful they are, because they seem pretty impactful. So number 2 on our list, Hype number 2, is going to be Devon Dudley. Again, I'm not going to bother with setting up the strap or trainers or coaches or whatever. He might have trainers and coaches on him still. He has Generation, so won't do any extra damage. However, let's go ahead with his yellow gems. They're supposed to be 67,400, 67,454. So we should be doing just around 200k, just a smidgen over on this yellow 3 swipe. And we did 280k, 279 to be precise. So almost a 40% increase in terms of what we should have been doing gem damage-wise. So seems to be a significant pick-me-up comparatively. I can't, again, tell you the numbers. It seems like it's pretty close to 40%. It's not exactly 40% though, because we were supposed to do 202,000, so it should have been over 280, and we did 279, which is under 280. So I have zero understanding of how this is actually supposed to count in terms of damage. But we're going to go ahead and chime on over to let me just quit this. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's just quit this. There's no point in being in this. I'm trying to work on hype, and I'm worried about winning the match, and I shouldn't be. All right, so let's run this back, and we're going to run our Soul Hype 3 character that we have on the account. That is actually decent, I should say. So Veteran Cena, salute. Where is he? There he is. Okay. Okay. So, now our Cena, do we have a match towards the top that will not cascade or something like that? Here, this red match looks nice. Hopefully to not cascade. So we will do 86,482 times 3. So just a smidgen under 260,000 damage is what we should do. And on our 3 match, we did 431. So that's 170,000 damage increase on what was supposed to be 260. So as you can see, as you continue to climb up, these numbers go up. Also on top of that, the reason I brought out Cena is so that we can actually test this out. So we checked out move damage before. Now let's go ahead and check out submission damage. So 616,000 is what the number should be per turn. So let's go ahead and see what that amounts to. So we get our base gem damage, and you'll notice our 616,000 is actually 1 million plus. So that also got an increase on the damage. Our kick out damage now, it shows us that we have our gem damage has the typical kick out boost, but we also have our kick out bonus of 50% on top. So even though this says 15 million, I feel like this does more than 15 million based on what we've seen already. On top of that, let's go ahead and check out our move damage here. That is 5.3 million. It was only supposed to do 2.4. And we have 1.35 million bleed damage. Let's go ahead and swipe and then check out how much he takes from the bleed. That is 2.24. So we're getting an increase on our bleed as well. So gem damage increase, move damage increase, sub damage increase, bleed damage increase. I'm sure there's others out there like power gems and stuff. I haven't looked into that. I don't think I have hyped out characters for that. But it also seems the higher up that you go on your hype level, the more that you continue to do compared to all these other characters. Now, here's where things get a little funky, right? Our hype levels also have what's called a class advantage bonus. So, when I check out my Cena at hype level 2, His awareness is 2,000, aggression is 200, toughness is 200, kick out is 40, right? So 2, 2, 2, and 4. Okay. Now when we go here to our class advantage bubble, you'll see it says hype only, hype stats boost. So if you click on your talent level here, you'll notice tier 2 hype stats. Well, we just said we had 2, 2, 2, and 4. Now we have 2.5, 3, 3, and 5. So our awareness went up 500. Our aggression and toughness both went up 100. And our kickout went up 10. On top of that, let's go ahead and check out our Hall of Fame Lex, because he is another hype character. Lex is a hype level 1, not hype level 2. So he's at 1,100, 120. So 1, 1, 1, 2, right? And if we check out down here, you'll realize, well, we're at 1,500, 150, 150, and 30. So in this case, we gained 500, we gained 50 and 50, and then we still gained 10. So the awareness and the kickout seem to be flat bonuses as of right now, for plus 500 awareness and plus 10, I guess, percentage bonus on the kickout. And it looks like the aggression and defensive are 50% bonuses. However, and I asked some people in our faction to look this up, when you get to hype level 3, and that is actually something I can go ahead and show you here, because we do have a technician at hype level 3, which is Salute Cena. There we go. Got to find him again. All right, so our hype level 3 character, Salute Cena, he is at 3,400, 460. Those are his numbers, right? Now, if we're following the same trend, we're going to get 500, 500, and 50% on each. Well, that's where you're kind of wrong. So we still get 500 on the awareness. We still get 10% on the kickout. And then instead of getting a 50% bonus on aggression and toughness, we got a flat 125 amount, which couldn't really tell you why we got that. That's, what is it, 3/8, I think is what it is, or something along those lines. 125 out of 400. Oh, sorry, it's 31.25%. It's not even a third. So I don't really understand why we got that number. I don't have any hype level 4s right now. I don't know if I will be able to get one before the start of feud. But definitely some oddball stuff here in regards to hype. Now, part 2 of this that I kind of want to showcase, especially in a video here. Let's see. So it doesn't show us hype on the surface here. That's going to be a real big issue in Showdown. I'm very hopeful that they change it and update that with the UI. But here's a prime example, okay? So we have Ultimate Warrior and we have Rey Mysterio. Ultimate Warrior does 80,000 damage and chooses 3 gems to destroy, and he is hyped out. So what we're going to do, and it's going to sound very, very silly, we're going to go to the absolute bare bones bottom of the roster here. So we got our RVD at 2-star bronze, and our RVD has 8,000 health, right? So we figure that Warrior is going to beat us, for sure, and that's not a problem here. But what I'm understanding is that when I go to start the match, it stops. The match refuses to load. And that is because the game is already considered I have lost. Everything that is happening game side, the game has already decided you lost. The opponent is hyped out, you're not. Therefore, they go first. If the match that you're going to go into, you're going to just lose, this is the experience that you're going to have. And I believe that you kind of have to click through it, or you really just got to wait about like a minute or two, and then the game will finally load and then show you, hey, by the way, you're kind of dead already. So this to me is a major, I don't want to just say flaw, like with the idea or something, but the execution of the game, this is not something that is going to go over well or fly or whatever terminology that you want to use, especially when feud comes around. Some people that are going to go and try to fight hyped up characters and just be like, yeah, I'll beat him turn 2, and then they sit here like this in feud. Come on now, right? You're going to have people yelling at each other. Why aren't you feuding? Why aren't you going faster? What's going on over there? Well, my game is red ringing. I don't know what's going on over there, right? Like, that's what's happening. So this to me is a fundamental problem with the structure of hype and the way that it works with this awareness thing. Speaking on awareness, the way that the bonuses work, where every level that you go up, hype 1 is 1,000, hype 2 is 2,000, hype 3 is 3,000, hype 4 is 4,000. Even if you have class advantage, as I showed earlier, you only get 500 awareness if you have the class advantage. That effectively makes class advantage for awareness entirely useless. And that's because if you have your character at hype level 1, he'll have 1,000 awareness. If you're fighting a hype level 2, they will have 2,000 awareness. You will get a 500 awareness bonus. That will put you at 1,500 awareness. They will still be at 2,000, therefore they will still go first. Now, if you're probably sitting here going like, well, Bob, class awareness is for the same hype level, obviously. Well, it's not the case, really. The case of the matter is when you have people that are the same hype level and have the same awareness, there's a little button that you can click on your hype level tab and your awareness that indicates and tells you, by the way, if you have the same hype as your opponent, you will go first. As you can tell, my game is refusing to respond. I don't really know how to make this work. Maybe we can click on the back button. No luck. I don't know. Let's go ahead and reset our game in the background while we're here doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that hype awareness button and indicate to you exactly what I'm referencing here. Apologies for the delay here. I was planning on showing you the red ring and was hopefully going to be able to log in, but that didn't work out too well now, did it? Now if we go to, somebody else that I got for hype, Christian of all the people, right? I didn't even know they could do that still. Anyway, if you go into his hype and you click on awareness, you'll see go first. Superstar with the higher awareness acts first. When the match starts, your superstar wins in ties. Therefore, there is no benefit to having class advantage for awareness. If you have no hype and they have no hype, you're going to go first, like always. If you're hype level 1 and they're hype level 1, you're going to go first, like always. The only time that this is ever an issue is if you're hype 1 and they are hype 1, and then you have, let's say, an acrobat like Christian and purposely fight a powerhouse. Now you have given the class advantage to your opponent. That is when they will go first. Aside from that, there is no benefit to class advantage for awareness purposes. So these are all things that are very concerning to me with hype and very confusing to me with hype. There's no real answer as to what's going on. Outside of that, let's go ahead and dive into if we can find another hyped up opponent. Here we go, The Miz. Perfect. So let's go and use our Hall of Fame Lex Luger, who is hype level 1. Gotta find him now, though. I think I went in the wrong direction. That's the other thing, too. I really would, man, I'd really love to be able to sort by hype level. But man, that's not a thing. There we go, cool. All right, so now here's the kicker. We have hype, and The Miz has hype. So, as far as we're concerned, we should go first, right? Well, Technician has a class advantage against powerhouses, right? Okay, let's go ahead and put our powerhouse into here. Even though our powerhouse is our tag partner, you will notice that The Miz has class advantage against him. So now when we go back into this, you will notice The Miz has higher stats than we do, even though he is not directly lined up against you. So we both have one hype, but The Miz has class advantage against my tag partner. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. And you'll notice the game loads in because the game does not think that my Lex is going to lose right away just because the Miz goes first. We go first still. How does that make sense when the Miz has more awareness? So there's an issue with the UI. The UI indicates, well, the Miz was supposed to have 1500 awareness, but doesn't. He was supposed to have 150 toughness and aggression, but doesn't. But it'll only be when he's lined up against your character. So it's a very odd experience that we're having with this hype. Super, super odd. So let me go ahead and try to win this one because it is a showdown match. I'd like to not just lose it. All right, wonderful. So it's proven to be very odd, very, very odd indeed. But anyway, that's going to be it for this one on Hype Part 2. Hopefully I'll be able to get some more information in regards to how strong the aggression and the toughness actually makes a character. It seems like it's kind of an add-on to Fury and Armor so far, and not even just that, but all damage, right? Fury and Takedown and Bleed and Sub and the whole nine. But that's going to be it for this one. If you like the video, make sure to like the video. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to stay in tune with all the additional content that I continue to put on out there. Share with all your friends that probably need to see just the bare bones basics to understand a little bit more on hype. This took us a few hours as a faction to kind of figure out. And then, yeah, leave some comments below. I'm going to work on answering a lot of those. Definitely a lot of those over these videos. But anyway, until next time, y'all, have a good one. Bye!